Hey, hello. Thanks for tuning in for this short demo. Here's the problem. 1 in 6 project managers come to me because they want to advance their career. They want to get a higher salary, a better job title, or they want to get in their dream company. And the biggest limiting factor in their career advancement is their resume. You see, the problem is that no one ever taught you how to write a resume. And I have never seen a project manager who was like confident to go to a senior colleague or their boss and show their resume and say, hey, give me feedback on my resume. Because that's a sign that you are going to leave the company. And it's very stressful to do this. That's why I'm so pumped to give you this tool. I've been doing these resume reviews for 10 years, and you can imagine how many of them I reviewed. And now I have built a tool that knows the exact framework, the mindset, the small things that are important in the hiring process. And it's all packed into this resume reviewer agent, which is a part of the AI PM Mentor 2.0. So let me quickly show you how it works. I will use one of the resumes that I have permission to share. There is the data is redacted in this resume, so nothing uh, sensitive here. So let's say review this resume, and we'll give it some time. You will notice that AIPM Mentor, like it works a bit slower, I would say, than most other AI chatbots. That's because we're using these top reasoning models, so they think about what you ask them to do. Second, there are a lot of instructions for agents to go through. So it's not like they're just generating text, they're following step-by-step frameworks that I developed. And they also have access to the knowledge sources and knowledge base that help them to provide you with real world answers that come from my experience, like this resume review framework. But the same, I have knowledge base for AIPM Mentor, where it knows everything that I know, my book, my course, my YouTube videos. They all transformed into these bite-sized knowledge cards that AI can easily find and give the answer to you based on your real-world situations. And the same with Career Coach. Career Coach is, for example, based on my commandments for career development for project managers, and it knows how to build a rapid and successful career as a PM using micro projects. All right, here we go. Here are the results. Uh, we'll, we'll allow it to finish the report. Again, as you can see, it follows a structured review process, and it looks at your resume in layers from different aspects, and I'll show you a few things that you should be pumped about. All right. So this is a resume of like a senior level project manager, program manager, and right away, as you can see, it graded it like 4.4 points out of 10. And that's because there is a lot of things going on that are generally wrong. So the person has 12 years of experience, uh, substantial real world experience, but right now your resume reads like a generic job description. That's the problem that I would say 80% of project managers have overall. Uh, so, yeah, you basically know how to manage projects, you have your PMP, but you don't show them, you don't sell that experience as achievements. That's why recruiters don't see you. So a quick summary across multiple dimensions. So the first impression and summary. Generic buzzwords. There is no like 6 second differentiator here. Achievements quality, mostly theoretical task description disguised with power words. Uh, Quantification and numbers. No numbers at all. Role and clarity positioning, confusing career trajectory. And this is basically one of the career development strategy steps I teach. Your resume should be an advertisement. It's not just a list of all your roles and responsibilities you had. You want to sell your experience, sell your ability to solve problems and make business for your clients. Structure, scalability, keywords optimization. So keywords is a bit better, but that's the easiest part, I think. Experience relevance, overlapping dates and uncompressed order roles create instant confusion. And again, we don't want to confuse people, especially recruiters. And now it gives you a more in-depth explanation of the scoring. So, for example, you stated you have over 5 years of experience, but your work history starts from 2013 as CTO, and you're not mentioning that. So, disconnect. And this type of questions, like if AI could catch that, the brain of a human being will basically see this dissonance at once. Achievements quality, this basically says that you have generic statements that don't provide enough details to be uh, believable, and so on and so on. And you can see that you have quite an in-depth report here. Top strengths, it says what you have. You have a lot of experience, you have solid certification, clear baseline formatting for the sections. And then what's critical improvements? So you want to transform responsibilities into achievements. That's holy grail of modern resumes for project managers. Clarify your career trajectory. It should be a story of you developing into a PM role or something in some other role. And you need to fix consistency with numbers. And then you have some quick wins that you can do right away in the next 30 minutes, and then strategic improvements that will require some extra work. So as you can see, this one was like 4.4 out of 10. And just to give you like an insight of what's possible if you follow the framework fully, let's analyze my resume because I use what I preach myself. I would say this program manager. And we'll do the same analysis for my resume to see how it will score my resume. I'm pretty sure it will never be 10 out of 10. Probably it's very hard to reach or impossible even to reach. The perfection is out there, but it should be close. That's because I know how interviewers and hiring managers, how they think, what they look for. And that's because I've been on the receiving side all these years. I've interviewed and hired like hundreds and hundreds of project managers. Maybe I interviewed hundreds and hired dozens of project managers in my career, but you got the point. And I've talked a lot with recruiters to understand what they look for, how they look for candidates, how they source them, what they value in resumes and LinkedIn profiles. And I then packed it all into this framework. And I can tell you that I've been testing it for many, many years. And even recently, in the last 6 months, I've been testing my new resume, this one, on getting AI program management roles. All right, so okay, it gave me even more than I expected, I think. Yeah, so 9.7 out of 10. That's again because I'm following what I preach, and I have punchy, exact, and instant establishment of my authority in the summary. Achievements quality is high, quantification is high, blend of inputs and outputs. And this is a critical point. Like when you quantify your achievements, you want to show the complexity, like what was the input of your story, of your project, how complex it was. But you also want to show a connection or a cause and effect connection between your efforts and the business or additional value that you delivered through those efforts. And yeah, so role and clarity, scalability, we can improve it a bit, but again, I've been testing some structures with this resume and it still worked very well. Keywords optimization, very powerful. Experience relevance. Okay, and storytelling potential, that's another thing that I teach. The idea here is very simple. You want your resume to pique curiosity so that on interviewers will like, hey, tell me about yourself. You quickly run through your resume, through some achievements, and they, oh, that's so interesting. Tell me about this achievement. And then you are talking about your experiences and the stories that you prepared in advance instead of answering some theoretical or situational questions that have no sense out of the context of your experience. So even here we can some critical improvements, but yeah, core expertise layout, dense text, and maybe consulting to V2 Pro. Okay. So as you can see, if you get this kind of review on your resume, I'm pretty sure you will get a huge return on investment because your resume is basically differentiated between you getting an average job, an average salary, and top end salary. And you can claim a top end salary only if you already set the bar with your resume. When an interviewer looks at your resume and sees like uh, 200 other resumes which are like saying, hey, this candidate is like top 1% for this role, then you come and say, hey, I want the best salary possible that you can give me. And again, this is the difference that you can get like maybe 10 to 15 thousands per year more in your salary with such a resume. So I think just this one agent will give you back any return on your investment into AI PM Mentor. And again, it's just like $29 per month. And if you would use it daily, like you can think about this simple math. It's just $1 per day. If you come here and do a simple task or ask a question, ask multiple questions to a PM mentor, to career coach, or you will ask it to review your resume after you updated it, or if you ask it to write a user story for you and it will save you like 2 or 3 hours that day, I can guarantee that like this is the best return on your investment. You'll be trading $1 for whatever your rate is per hour at work. And you can think about like AI coaching and mentoring, and some of you did personal coaching with me, and it ranges from like hundreds of dollars per hour to $300 per hour, depending on what area of expertise you want to tap into. All right, there you have it. A quick overview of the AI PM Mentor 2.0. You can try it all for 5 days for free. So we have a free trial. Go at least go and do this resume review uh, with the free trial, get the benefits out. And I will tell you right away that my next uh, assistant that I'm working here right now will be about helping you write the resume one achievement at a time. And if you combine both of them, I'm pretty sure you can become a great project manager and claim even better jobs and salaries. All right. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Bye bye.